my art isn't just for art. It's for heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just trying to entertain people. I'm trying to educate people. I'm trying to transform some people. You know, like if I can make an impact on somebody's thinking and the way they you know, change the way that they thinking for the best. Like, I think that's like the ultimate form of success for me.
What up, though, Black Fridays family? Welcome back to another installment of the Black Fridays podcast. Now, before we get into today's episode, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, leave a comment in the videos if you want, and check out the previous dope guests that have been on the show. Now that we get that out the way, I want to introduce you to none other than the visionary, Mr. Timashion Jones. How you doing, brother?
What up, though?
What up, though?
All is well?
All is well. I can't complain, man.
Good.
And I'm very excited to have you on the show today and want to invite you on because I think that you have an excellent story in terms of how you came to be one of the premier filmmakers, producers, entrepreneurs, writers in the city, and somebody who is from the city, from the West Side, also from the craft, to be even more specific.
Okay.
I really want to have you come on here and share your story. So I'll start with asking you, how does a young Black man from the West Side of Detroit, schoolcraft, like I said, become a filmmaker? Like, how do you even get into that? How do you get opportunities to do that?
All right, so not just schoolcraft.
Okay.
Grand River and schoolcraft.
Grand River and schoolcraft, for sure.
Schoolcraft go a long way. But I grew up on Freeland, on schoolcraft and everything, man. But, you know, it started out as a hobby, you know. I got my first camera, Sony High 8 camera in 2001 or 2. And I was going around doing spoof videos, and I wish I'd have just kept doing it because, you know, these content creators is making all kind of money doing what I did way back then or whatever. But, you know, I was just playing around, learning how to edit and all that stuff, doing weddings and all that. And then 2011 is when I shot my first film with a couple of friends. And, you know, ever since then, I've been doing a movie almost every year. And it's been about 15 of them right now, you know. So,
and you operate that through T-Bot Media, correct?
Yeah, so it started out as a company called Framed by Grace Films. It was, you know, we did 3 films. So A Love That Hurts, which is on YouTube now. You can watch that. It's got about 4 million views on there. So that was pretty cool. Cody High, which we got a few Emmy Awards for. And then Life in Osborne. You know, we did some 2 documentaries, one on Cody High and one on the school in Osborne. So after those 3 films were done, my partners decided to go to a different part of the state, you know, and work. So I had to start my own company. So I started The Body of Praise Media, which is T-Bop Studios now. And my wife has a dance company called The Body of Praise Dance Factory, and I got The Body of Praise Media, and both of them fall up under the umbrella of The Body of Praise Studios.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So through T-Bot Media, I've been able to do, you know, the rest of the films.
And then before or simultaneously to you starting your film career, you also worked for a long time. You have a engineering degree, because we talked previously, have an engineering degree, engineering background, and you worked in automotive like a lot of people end up doing. I did myself when I left college, left undergrad. So could you kind of talk about what that pivot was like for you to go into the film industry from being a, you know, traditionally trained engineer?
You know, I don't want to start with the pivot yet. I want to start with how it helped me. You know, working in manufacturing helped me to produce movies better. You know, and for a long time I was doing movies while I was working full time. So I would take vacations. I would do it on weekends. You know, like I said, I had my 9 to 5, but then I had my 5 to 9. And my goal was to one day to have my 5 to 9 replace my 9 to 5, which happened, but years later, right? But as a manufacturing engineer, I had to study like processes, and like I had to manage people and resources and technology and all that, you know. So when I got on the film set, I didn't understand what every job role was, but I understood processes. So when they had to change lenses and change locations, and I'm like, well, it's like a changeover. A single minute exchange of dyes is what we would call it. How we can, you know, streamline a process that used to take a half hour to do it in 10 minutes. So how can we change this from the kitchen to the living room, which used to take an hour? How can I do it in 10 minutes? Like, it is possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I found this video I used to use to teach my, and I used to teach lean manufacturing as well. And it was a video called The 4 Hour House. How like all these people put a house together in 4 hours. I mean, it was like hundreds of people. I mean, they came and it was like a record. And the house is like still standing to this day. And I was like, you know, people normally put houses together over months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we be more efficient and do it this fast, you know? And I'm like, well, if that's possible, anything's possible. So a movie might take 30 days. That was our first movie that we did. It took 25 days. And I'm like, how can I do this in 5? You know what I'm saying? So we end up doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it went from just using those principles to like teaching those principles to other filmmakers to be more efficient in their filmmaking process. So so after that, like I said, I was just waiting on the 5 to 9 to replace the 9 to 5. And once I found out what they were doing, like on Tubi, and people was making like a lot of money in there, I was like, wait a minute, I think it's that time. You know, me and my wife, we talked, we prayed about it, and you know, I went on to make that jump, you know, 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Hope that answered you.
Yeah, no, definitely, because you were able to take your learned experience and then transfer that over to what your passion was in filmmaking and trying to be able to be more efficient and effective with that. Because like you said, you had limited time because you're working a 9 to 5. So when you hit the set or whenever you decide to start filming from beginning to end, it got to work out in that time frame or it's not going to get done.
You got to do a lot with a little, man. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. So before I dig in and ask you some more questions about your background and experience, I want to introduce you to my favorite part of Black Fridays, which is Freestyle Fridays. So if you're the visionary, you're going to have to give us some bars. I mean, we're going to need like 8 to 16 bars.
Oh, man, I left that a long time ago, man. You can check me out on iTunes. I got bars on iTunes you can check out.
You got some music on? You got a playlist?
Yeah, I used to be in a rap group. I used to be in a rap group called God's Army.
Oh, yeah, you really got to give us some bars. No.
Nah, you can see it there, man. Yeah, I haven't rapped in years, bro. Like, I left rapping and stage diving and all that stuff alone, man.
Okay.
And started, doing films. But yeah, man, God's Army, Ministry of Rap. You can check that out,
I'm
man.
tapping in.
Man, my wife rapping it too.
Your wife rapping on there too? Yeah, oh yeah, we're gonna have to. When I cut this up, I'm gonna have to put y'all music on there.
Yeah, put it on there, man.
Put y'all music on the video.
Ride and Die's pretty good. Feed My Sheep was another song that I wrote.
So I'm assuming this was Christian rap.
Yeah, it's Christian rap.
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It was a time, man. We had a couple albums out.
Okay, y'all was ahead of the curve then.
It was a lot going on around then, man. I think we started in 90. I think I joined the group in 98.
Mm-hmm.
And we rocked all the way to about 2007, maybe 8. We started having kids.
Of course, yeah.
Stuff changed. Other people's kids started going to college, and we was like, hey, we're not, 18, 19 anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Life happened.
Yeah.
I got you.
So now I'm doing film.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, for Freestyle Fridays, we're going to do rapid fire questions. So I just need you to answer each one and answer honestly.
Okay.
All right.
I'm a pretty transparent person, man.
All right, bet.
I keep it real.
All right. So the first one, this might be the toughest one. What's the best movie of all time or your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time, and I'm pretty sure I can't say my movies, right?
No, you cannot. Yeah, you can't say your movies.
I can't say my movies because my movies, the last one I made is always my favorite.
It's always your best one. Okay.
My favorite movie of all time. See, it's levels to this though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what kind of effect did this movie have on you when you watched it? It's not necessarily technically and what just the best movie, best acting and all that stuff or whatever, man. But
how does it resonate with you?
Yeah, but The Last Dragon did a lot for me as a kid, man. Okay. And I really loved that movie. Used to, act it out and all that stuff. That's one of the spoof videos that I did in 2002. Okay. I called it Last Detroit Dragon. I had a gi. I was down there at Belle Isle kicking at cars and stuff. And yeah, man, there's a lot going on with that, man. Okay. So I'll tell you another story. But it's anyway, me and my wife, we were in Chinatown. And I wanted to shoot a little bit of that, in Chinatown, and we was in Chicago. And I had the hat on, and I'm walking through Chinatown. Everybody in Chinatown looked like they just dressed regular. I'm the one walking around with a gi and a hat, and I'm trying to ask them questions because I wanted to look like I'm asking where the master is. And she across the street, like recording and stuff, and she's like, "You crazy, man?" And I got it. I put it all in there, man. It's dope, man.
Do you remember your first movie going experience, like the first movie that you saw, or first time going to the theater?
Oh man. The first time going to the theater, I think I remember going to see maybe Rocky, one of the Rocky movies. Went to the Mercury Theater. Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with that one, man. Nah. Yeah, that's way back in the day, man. That's on 6 Mile and Schaefer, man. But I think I went to see like the one with Mr. T in it. So
I think that was 3. Yeah, it might have been 2 or 3.
Yeah. Whichever one that was, man. I think that's like the first time where I kind of like went. And then I started going to the movies like by myself. I would take the bus and just go watch movies and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. Do you remember the most random job that you ever held?
The most random job? I don't know. What you mean random?
Like a job that nobody would expect you to have. Or you yourself can't even believe that you worked it.
I worked at a nursing home. I used to bring the food from upstairs and feed the patients. Not feed them, but give it to them and stuff, But, okay, all right. So I got one. So my mom owned this costume character company, and I was there when she first came up with it. And she had to build these Bart Simpson heads and Yosemite Sam and Mickey Mouse. So she would get all these characters and we would dress up as these characters and go dance for kids and stuff. And I gotta tell you, man, I was traumatized by one of these experiences, man. See, I hate glitter to this day. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that you touch and you get stuck on you and all that stuff. And my mom was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have you dress up like Michael Jackson." And I was like, all right. And she made this glitter glove. So she put like some glue and put like a little cloth glove and it just let it dry. And then I'm up here and we had a strobe light and I'm dancing in front of these kids. And, I'm looking sweet. You know what I'm saying? And they cut the lights on.
Glitter everywhere.
It was glitter all on the kids, all over me. It was in my neck. It was all in in the crevices and stuff and it was like so much glitter all over the place. And to this point, I'm like, I tell my wife, my daughter, like, hey, don't glitter dresses. Yeah. Don't y'all spill some glitter. Somebody else clean this up. Right. I am not dealing with glitter. I ain't even go see the movie Glitter. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't even play around. Like, don't even know glitter names, man. You know what I'm saying? But my mom still got that company, man. AAA Parties Are Us, man. She still do the latest, costumes and stuff. Yeah.
That's fire.
Characters and stuff.
She was ahead of the curve too, because that's become a thing since I've been an adult. Like more people hiring people to do exactly that, to come out to the parties, dance for the kids, or entertain them, do whatever.
Yeah, that's what I did, man. I dressed up like all them, man. Ninja Turtles. I was all
you name it, you was them.
Yeah, for sure.
If you had to start a project today from scratch, and you had money is no object, time is no object, getting access to people is no object, what stars, if you could cast 3 to 5, would you have in this project?
3 to 5? I probably got to start with Denzel. You know what I'm saying? Like, that got to be my number one, man. He's like such a phenomenal actor. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to my namesake.
There you go. Other people, oh man, it's hard, man. Let's see. I probably would go with Angela Bassett,
Mm-hmm.
and then I may say like Al Pacino.
Okay.
I'll probably go with, I know we're older now, man, but, if I was putting them together, I don't know what kind of story that's going to be.
I was going to say, what kind of, do you know, like what the theme would be?
That'll come over, it'll be something.
It'll work itself out.
You know what I'm saying? You get the right people on the bus, it can go anywhere.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Okay, dope. Well, thank you for partaking in Freestyle Fridays. You surpassed with excellence. So thank you for engaging in the randomness, and we got some great stories from that too. So definitely appreciate it.
For sure.
And I want to ask you, in terms of the work that you've been able to do, you're an Emmy Award winner in terms of the projects that you've done. And so I wanted to identify kind of the opportunities that you got to do to shoot Cody, High, Life Remodeled, and then Life in Osborne, those type of projects, how did those opportunities come about? Because you're a multifaceted filmmaker, so you've done docs, you've done feature films as well. But in terms of like the doing those documentaries and the ones that got you an Emmy, how did that opportunity come about?
So one of our business partners, Daryl Bradford, he did some work for Chris Lambert. Chris Lambert is the CEO of Life Remodeled.
Yep.
And before they started doing all the stuff that they're doing now, they were kind of like doing those extreme home makeover kind of things where they would like take a home and kind of like give it to a family and fix it up or something like that.
Yeah.
And he came out to one of our movie premieres for Love That Hurts, and he saw us doing film. And he said he had an idea for us to follow them as they go from doing homes to doing a school. So he approached us, we all met, and we thought it was a pretty good idea to kind of like follow his organization over the span of a year to do it. Walter Marshall had directed it, and I helped produce it, and it was good, man. And then we ended up putting it out on PBS. And PBS showed it, like regionally, and that's what got the best documentary for 2015, I believe, or 16. And then we said, hey, let's do it all over again. And then we did, the next school, which was Osborne. Mm-hmm. So that relationship that we had, when they were in their infancy stage, it kind of like it just grow, and I literally just seen him. He was at the event that we was just at, you know. And I actually, that's where they met with me, with Dewan and
really?
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. That's where they met. I remember the first time they were talking. I had this thing called a 2020 Vision Party, where I would invite a whole bunch of entrepreneur-minded people, and they would have like 5 minutes to say where they see themselves in the next. It was by the year 2020. It was like 2015. So it was like over the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? And they kind of like was in the corner, kind of like kicking it, and then that relationship went on, man. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, man, it was pretty cool, man.
So I've always wondered what it was like putting together a documentary, because I'm assuming it's a lot of footage, it's a lot of time spent. You get to be in these intimate spaces with people, because one of my favorite films of all time is Hoop Dreams, and like just to see the transformation of those kids as they went throughout high school and what was going on in their lives. And you got to see the one boy, like his daddy being a perfectly normal dad, to being, addicted to drugs on the streets and like soliciting drugs on the documentary. So it was just crazy. But I'm just thinking about all of the hours that go into those things. Even like, and I'm a fan of reality TV too. I love reality TV documentaries. So I'm assuming it's a lot of recording. There's a lot of being in intimate spaces with people. What is that experience like firsthand when you are producing or curating a documentary, things like that, when you're the person that's actually holding the footage?
Well, it depends on what type of documentary that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So if you are doing one of those fly on the wall and just letting stuff just happen, you kind of like got to let the story develop and find the story. And there are some other documentaries where you already kind of know what's going on, and then you kind of like create the story. You know what I'm saying? But it is a lot of footage. So we shot, like, you know, for Cody High, it was like over the course of a year, all the major events that they had. We followed the students during basketball season, different games, you know, and it was like, you know, you want to find your characters as far as like, who are you going to gravitate towards? Who are the people that are going to like carry the story? Because what we found out was the school had a personality. The neighborhood had a personality. Mm-hmm. So it was like Cody Rouge neighborhood is different than the Osborne neighborhood. Like their personalities is different, you know? And so we had to like find that and kind of like bring that out. And a lot of it has to do with talking to people and building relationships, not just with the camera, but just like going out, find out who's doing what. And then like sometimes stuff just happen. Like if you ever watch Life in Osborne, one of the main characters that we followed came into a community meeting and she was like irate about some stuff that happened to her children. And she felt that the community wasn't serious about finding what happened. Like I think one of her sons that got killed, you know, and she was like, hey, you guys aren't doing anything. Y'all just all this talking. And she was just, you know, upset, you know, and then they did a little prayer for her. And she was like, look, y'all just playing games, you know. Mm-hmm. And by the end of the movie, she was the one going door to door trying to tell people, come on out and help out clean up these community. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like to see that transformation happen was like mind blowing to us, but like you got to find that. But that we just got blessed on that because she just came there. Yeah. And she just was like, hey, and we're like, oh, who's she? Put a mic on her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, but I say watch that movie, man. Like that is a very, very well made documentary. You know, if you don't say so yourself. Yeah. If I don't say so myself. Now, Walter really put a lot into that, man, and it's very well. It's not as critically acclaimed as Cody High, but I think it's a better made film because we made it later and we learned from it, and you know what I'm saying, have better equipment and stuff like that too. So that all helps. So I'm curious in terms of Cody High, what did you learn about the school and the neighborhood? Because I got involved with Cody. Maybe what year did that film come out? Remind me again. 2014. 2014. So I got involved with Cody maybe 2015, 2016. And I started a mentoring program at my job when I worked at automotive. And we would literally mentor Cody students. We have them bus out to our job and have lunch and mentor them for like half a day. And then they get a chance to go back to school. But they got firsthand experience in the corporate America to open their eyes to what they could do post high school life. Mm-hmm. And so what I learned in that experience is that these students are like so bright and so talented, but it's a lot of things in their environment or their particular households that was holding them back or not necessarily allowing them to be able to unlock their full potential. And I'm curious if you noticed some of those similar things in terms of doing Cody High, or if you just was able to learn that throughout your process and making that documentary. Just want to kind of like gather your thoughts on that. Yeah, I mean, man, so here's the thing, man. Like, you have to be put in an environment where it's conducive to learning. Right. You know, like, if you in a school and the roof is leaking in the classroom, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, you thrown off, you're distracted. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm starving when I show up to school. If you can't, you got that. And then you got students who, like one of the most heart-wrenching thing was, like, young lady said that I can't go to school when it's dark in the morning because I got to get off the bus on Joy Road, walk all the way to, you know, Cody, and these houses are abandoned. I'm like, you know, people getting snatched up in these houses. And it's like, I got to wait till it get light outside because I got to see what's going on. And it's like, our kids are really going through all this stuff just to get to the place where they can learn. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, if we can fix some of those things, you know, like, that can really contribute to, I mean, that's a start, that's a baseline. That's where we starting at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we gotta be in the right environment. Like, if you put a seed in a bucket of alcohol, like, it won't grow. It has to be put in some dirt and nurtured and cultivated and stuff like that. And that's what we gotta put a nice environment for our children. That's why I love, like, those type of projects, like youth oriented projects, because I always think about like how I was when I was growing up and what I felt I should have had and how we can help the next generation, improve.
For sure. And do you feel like from those projects, including Osborne and Cody and any other project that you have, because I feel like there's a common theme of being able to share those stories of different pockets of experiences for what we deal with in the city of Detroit or just Black people in general. Like you mentioned, youth has been a focus. And then also I know that you have another film, 911, where it talks about suicide prevention opportunities. So just being able to have you kind of seen people, the impact of your films that you've done and projects on people's lives, because obviously that's the screen, that's one thing, but how it's actually impacting people in everyday life.
So with the Cody Rouge, man, my grandmother used to live on Artesia, and then my aunt lived on Stahalin. So we used to always be over in the Cody Rouge area going to play football at the field. And so as a kid, I knew what the environment was like go up to the basketball court and people run up there with bats and stuff and chasing people. And I'm like, cars all on the ground. I'm like, what's going on over here? You know? But as a kid, you don't understand all that stuff that happened on Exit 9. It was like a whole new world over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the crafts. All kind of stuff that's happened over there too. So I'm over here like, oh, this is different, But when I saw that, when they put all these resources into the community, people start having block clubs and, start loving on people. Like if you go there now, that neighborhood is totally different because it still got more resources being put into it, And I think that was, probably like one of the kickstart of all that stuff happening in that Cody Rouge area. You know what I'm saying? With Skillman and all these different nonprofits and business and churches and everybody start helping out, mentoring programs and stuff coming or whatever.
Right.
So I think that really had a major impact because it added more visibility to the need, as it relates to Hope 911, the teen suicide prevention movie. Like I've heard firsthand testimonies how people who were dealing with suicidal thoughts had benefited from that movie. You know what I'm saying? And it was one lady who was like, I had that exact conversation with the help desk because I called because I was getting ready to do it, and that's exactly the way it went. And it was like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I mean, like when I'm hearing stuff, I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I don't make, my art isn't just for art. It's for heart. That's dope. What I'm saying? I'm not just trying to entertain people. I'm trying to educate people. I'm trying to transform some people. If I can make an impact on somebody's thinking and the way they change the way that they thinking for the best. I think that's the ultimate form of success for me. Can you do something with what you've seen on the screen? It's entertaining because, we got to get people interested in it. Yeah. But it's also thought-provoking. And then if they can reflect on some of those things, you know what I'm saying? I think it's dope.
Yeah, that is dope. And how do you get, how the process is different in terms of doing documentary or real life based type work and then also doing a feature film. So like you said, your underlying thing is that you always want to be able to have a message for people to reflect on, but how are the processes different in terms of approaching those two different types of projects?
So movies with a message, you know what I'm saying? That's like a motto of mine I try to have. So I mean, you got children?
Nope. Nope.
So every child has its own personality, right? And they're different. Same parents be totally different or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that the projects are. They like all my kids. You know what I'm saying? Some of them documentaries, some of them feature films, some of them talk about this, some of them talk about some mess. You know what I'm saying? But the vast majority of them, I want them all to do well for the society, When I approach filmmaking, I like doing films a lot better than documentaries myself. You know what I'm saying? I just love because I have more control of what's getting ready to happen. We got a script, You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of hidden variables with the documentaries. It's like, well, what's going to happen? Oh, let's follow this. Let's get in the car. Let's drive this, they're running. Okay, well, let's go, So it's more sporadic. But with a feature film, I get actors. I get to work with people who are trained in that type of art. So I love making films a little bit more. But raising money for film is one thing, and then getting money on the back end for films is a little easier than getting money on the back end for documentaries.
Okay.
Like for documentaries, you got to get your money on the front end. You got to talk to foundations. You got to talk to people that rock with you for this particular cause. So like don't spend $100,000 on a documentary and put it out on Tubi thinking you're gonna make $10,000, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get a $500 check for 3/4, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, what? No, bro, you need to get $100,000 from this organization or this foundation or something like that, and then put your work in, and then put it out, and then it may go crazy. But I mean, one caveat of that is who's in it too.
Gotcha.
And who's it about? So if you got somebody with an audience that you're doing a documentary about, then that documentary would do well. But if you're doing it about a specific cause, then with no known people, that's going to be a little harder to sell, even though it should be made. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell anybody not to make the film that they feel need to be made, but just know what you're getting into. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about the money, but it takes money to do it. So we need to understand, do I get it on the front end or I get it on the back end? You know what I'm saying? So... did that answer the question?
I was going to ask you if you could talk a little bit about the money play in filmmaking, because, for example, you'll have people that deem themselves creators and probably have the talent or have the vision in order to make things come together, or always been interested in, let's say, filmmaking per se. But then you have they may have negative thoughts of, oh, that don't make no money. I ain't trying to be no starving artist. Like, I need to, play it more safe in terms of my creativity and what I'm trying to do. Could you break down, how do you make this lucrative enough for you? Or just, let me phrase it a different way. How do you make it to where you can fund your projects, whatever it is that you're trying to do?
Have some really rich friends that love you and would sow seed, you know what I'm saying? But no, seriously, I think you gotta, you probably want to start with the why. Why is it that you want to make this movie? You know what I'm saying? And then who's going to be your audience? And what I tell a lot of filmmakers is, if I was to give you Fox Theater for free, and I was to tell you, hey, your movie is going to screen at the Fox Theater, and everybody is not going to pay anything to get in. Can you fill the Fox Theater with your movie? For free? Right. Now, we're not talking about paying anything. Can you just get people in there? If you can only get 50 people or 100 people in there, you might want to reconsider you making a movie. You know what I'm saying? You throw, like I said, you throw Denzel in your movie. You do a free movie, you're going to have a line around the corner. You follow what I'm saying? So who is your audience, and how can you tap into that audience? If you can do that, so a lot of people started bringing social media influencers. Even though they can't act, but they got an audience, they will put them in their movie. Yeah. And then they'll put the movie out, and it's bad acting, but so-and-so is in it, and 100,000 people look at it, and bam, they got some money. Right. So, you got to be strategic on, how you're going to sell this thing. You know what I'm saying? So from a number standpoint, if you never heard it broken down, I'm about to break it down for you. You know what I'm saying? This is how Tubi get the money. This is how people make their money, all right? All right, so let's just use a round number. Let's say this movie made $100,000. All right. If it grossed $100,000, Tubi is going to take 50% of that. Because they got the platform, so they're going to automatically take $50,000. So now you got another $50,000, and normally you can't get on Tubi unless you go through a distributor, and the normal rate for a distributor is 20%. So they take 20% and give the filmmaker 80%.
So 70% going off rip.
Yeah, so you stuck with 40% of what you make. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Now that's the Tubi model, right? I got a movie out on Vimeo. that's a 90-10 split. So Vimeo take 10, I get 90. You know what I'm saying? So if I make $100,000, I make 90. So it would be better financially to go with Vimeo, but they don't have the millions and millions of viewers like Tubi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Jay Prince said, like I'd rather have, 10% of a watermelon than 100% of a grape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes more sense. Like, I'd rather have a smaller stake in a larger pie.
Yeah.
So that's why people start going to them, because they got like 50, I don't know how many millions subscribers or active users. They got 80 million active users, and then you get paid per ad that's being shown. So every time an ad is being shown on your film, you get a certain dollar or cent or whatever.
Yeah.
And if your movie is so bad that they cut it off before your first ad is being shown, you get no money.
Yeah.
So you got to make it interesting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta get you at least to the first ad.
I gotta get you to all ads, man. I gotta get you that. That's the only way you're gonna make some money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you gotta make it interesting enough, and people resorting to all kind of tactics to get followers, to get people to watch it, and it's just, like we gotta get back to like the art and the beauty of filmmaking and the craftsmanship of it. That's really what I'm pushing. People trying to just put crazy stuff in it just to get, what they call it, shock value. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, why would you do that? Oh man, it's going crazy, dude. I'm like, bro, that's not even filmmaking, man. That's just ratchet, nasty. Like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they trying to tap into an audience. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And it worked, because you look on Facebook people saying all types of stuff about the movie.
Now next thing you know, oh yeah, this movie went viral. Like, bro, for all the wrong reasons. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, you got different people. You know what I'm saying? Different people with different appetites.
Like you said, who's your audience?
Yeah, who's your audience, man? Some people like, some filet mignon. Some people like some chitlins. Some people like, juices and berries. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got their own little appetite. Right. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock the chitlins because somebody making hundreds of $1,000s cleaning chitlins right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's buying a 5-gallon bucket of chitlins right now. Yeah. As we speak. Where the camera's at? Right now, they got a 5-gallon bucket of chitlins getting ready to go to town.
Going to work. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can't knock that. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just don't rock with chitlins. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, you good. I'm with you. It reminds me of that. I can't remember the name of American Fiction, where in that movie, their argument was kind of between him and the character that Issa Rae played was about, I'm making stuff about black people trying to position them in a positive light. You just doing ratchet stuff, and then they went back and forth. But she basically like, you trying to discredit these people, like this ain't real life. Like this is. It's an audience for this because people can relate to this. So don't, try to poo-poo on this because you don't necessarily understand, because you won't want people to do that to you. So it's kind of like, that when you said that reminded me of like, don't discredit that just because what it is. But, it's different flavors. Yeah, yeah. It's different flavors.
Some people not discrediting it, but I'm not
discrediting it, but
it's not my cup of tea. Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It is what it is.
But the stuff that you want to watch, you seek out and you go find, or you make, because you actually, in that space.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
So you actually teach filmmaking to people as well. And so I would love for you to be able to kind of talk about your Filmmaker Academy, or the courses that people are able to take in. How did you decide to say, like, I want to get a game back and allow people to kind of pick up on the things, the lessons, the mistakes that I've been able to learn, and then allow them to get that leg up in their career?
So I had some great mentors. You know what I'm saying, in this film game. Like I said, Walter V. Marshall, like, he went to Full Sail. He came back with The Game. And I'm like, what is a call sheet? What is this? And and I learned, and I looked over their shoulders, and then we've been able to do great things. We end up getting Emmy Awards and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, okay. And then I was able to like do films on my own without them, because I was a little scared, because I'm like, man, like, last thing I want people to say, hey, this Emmy Award winning filmmaker that made some trash, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't understand how much I had learned. And then, people were like, this your first time directing? I was like, yeah. It was like, it don't seem like, it seemed like you kind of like understand what's going on. So I used that experience that I had with those guys and then also the manufacturing experience that they didn't have that I had. And then I began to like make better movies and more movies and stuff like that. And then one day I was sitting watching, this Tubi started coming out, and I was watching a lot of filmmakers make movies, and from a quality standpoint, it was just lacking. They had the drive, they had the hunger. A lot of them had great stories, but you got to be able to marry, a dope story to a dope production.
Right.
Some of them had dope productions, bad stories, or vice versa.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. So rather than talking about all these hood movies or whatever, like what can I do to kind of help, like get people who are passionate about it, and then like teach them the process, So I was like, well, let me put together a course, and I started putting some ideas together, and I started inviting people to my course, and I taught them from not knowing anything to following me to even with my last film. Like they followed me through the entire process from pre-production all the way to post-production and distribution, but like we learned how to write scripts. We learned how to come up with concepts and log lines. We learned about advertising. We learned about the process of filmmaking from a technical standpoint. We pulled out equipment. We put up lights. You know what I'm saying? We had boom mics. I taught them about sound. I taught them about editing. So it's like a 10-week course that I recorded, and then for students that comes after that, they got access to all these 10 courses. Each course was like, or each workshop was like 2.5 hours. So you got 10 of them in 2.5 hours, and we break down budgets. We pull out a budget. I'm like, okay, you got $10,000. This is how you're gonna allocate $10,000 to make your movie. All right, this is how you got $50,000. This is how you're gonna, and $100,000. I did 3 different budgets for 3 different, levels of films. And a lot of those students, they took that stuff and was like, hey, I'm about to go do my own film. I'm like, yeah, like your success is my success. Because if you come out with a movie and it's pretty good and I taught you, then that's like, I did a good job. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like really pushing my students to come out with their own movies, because that's my barometer that I use to measure my success. If they come up with some good stuff.
Exactly.
And they also got access to me. So it was filmmaker, he called me. He was like, hey man, my DP, he canceled. I got actors flying in from LA. I got this and that. I don't have a DP. Where at, man? What time?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let me get my camera, let me get my lenses. I came and I DP'd for the day until his DP got ready
DP
or whatever.
Is director of photography.
Yeah, cinematography. And I came and I DP'd it myself. You know what I'm saying? And then, he got upset because he was like, I should have had you DP the whole thing. I looked at your footage, I looked at his footage. I was like, hey. But you know what I'm saying? Like it took years to come up with this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember I had a mentor. He also was a builder. He came and fixed my garage, and he was over there. Man, he was in the garage for like 10 minutes, man. Man, he was like, all right, man, give me this amount of money. I was like, man, it only took you 10 minutes to put this thing together, man. You gonna charge me this? He was like, it took me 20 years to learn how to do it in 10 minutes.
Man, that's a bar.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So when I give my rates, or when I talk to people about what I do, I'm like, it might look easy, but I've been doing this every year since 2011.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On nice budget films. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's fire. That's fire. I'm going to see if I can get some free coaching from you right now. I want to know if you could tell me how you decided to come up with the course material. So how long did it take you to go through that process, to comb through your experiences and say, all right, I want to offer this in the class. These are the essentials for you to know, because I'm brainstorming some things myself. So I'm trying to see how did you map out your process?
All right, so this was before ChatGPT. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just go ahead and say, hey, what are the courses for? And they just come up with a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I just use, like, what did I use to make a film? You know what I'm saying? Like what process? Like, so if I had to start a movie from beginning to end, like these are the things, these are the steps. You know what I'm saying? I got to come up with the concept, you know what I'm saying? The idea, and that's all the fun stuff, then you do your research, watch other movies and stuff like that or whatever. And then like, people saying that they wanted to write a script. And I'm like, have you read a script? Like, nope, I've never read a script before. I'm like, okay, take your movie that you love, You know what I'm saying? And read the script.
Mm-hmm.
You already know what it is. You love it. But read the slug lines, read the parentheticals and all the other stuff that goes along with it, the action line, and how they do the dialogue. And then read a movie that you haven't seen. And then go watch the movie and see the difference between what you read in the script and what the movie came out to be. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, you're able to go ahead and start writing your own script. Like I would tell them, don't even write a script until you read 2 scripts, one that you love and one that you're getting ready to watch.
Yeah.
Like that's like, first thing, you know what I'm saying? Then after that, you got to start putting together your team and, how to select people. And then I would tell people, go get on a film set. Go be a PA, go help out, like just so you can understand what's going on. Because a lot of people that want to make movies, but they ain't never seen a movie get made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come in and see what's up. People would gladly receive your help for free. You know what I'm saying? Because you trying to learn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then, then we go over budgets, we go over timelines, when we want to shoot, how many pages can we shoot in a day, and all that. I mean, it's a lot. So, I break it down. I got this thing called the 5 phases of filmmaking. And I think they can put 5 in my Instagram, and then just send them the link to it or whatever. But I break it down from pre-production, pre-production, production, post-production, I think post. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. That's where I am right now, going through distribution and marketing and stuff like that or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, man, from idea all the way to production. I mean, a lot of people, they so gung-ho about making a movie, and then they get to like the end and they submit it to these platforms and it get rejected for quality. Because they didn't understand that you had to have your list of deliverables that's going to go to these platforms in the beginning, so you can go tell the guy how to shoot it.
Got you.
Then you tell the editor how you want the editor to do it, and then when you get the deliverables, how you want the sound to be captured. So then when you finally get it all mixed and mastered, you got something that won't get rejected.
So you can start with the end in mind.
Start with the end. Start with the deliverables. Start with the, they might say they want these specific, artwork dimensions. Yeah. You can't have this on there. Then we tell your graphic artist, hey, put them in these dimensions.
Right.
Like the sound. You want surround sound, Dolby Digital, 5 point, whatever, like have that conversation early before you even, so when you look at those deliverables, then you go to the beginning and say, all right, this is the camera we're going to shoot with, this is the format we're going to shoot with, and all that stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's heartbreaking that you spend all that money trying to make a movie and get it out there because you got a goal to make some money on Tubi, and Tubi tell you, we're not taking it. We used to. Yeah. We used to just take anything. Yeah. We're not doing that anymore because we got options now. We got a little bougie now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you got to understand the process, you know what I'm saying? And what those deliverables are, and make sure you meet them. Make a good movie. Right. You know what I'm saying? Make a dope movie, man.
Exactly. That's fire. And so before I get into that, tell me about you have a feature film that's out now. You mentioned your project that's on Vimeo. So, and I'll let y'all know now, I got a chance to see the trailer. Trailer's out there to the public. Check out the trailer. It's actually dope. It will make you want to watch it. So if you could tell us about your project that's out on Vimeo and will be coming to the major streaming platform soon.
Yeah, man. My favorite movie, A Mirror of Deception. So if you go to amirrorofdeception.com, you can check it out. But, what was the question though?
Just tell us about the project and then also how people can stream it, of course.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. So Mirror Deception is like my first psychological thriller. Like I've done a lot of different movies, but it's the first one that I did as a psychological thriller, and it's the first one that I wrote, directed, and produced. I directed and produced a lot of movies, but it's the first one where I did all 3, and it was fun. It was definitely fun. It started out in the class. I was teaching my students how to leverage AI and how to streamline their filmmaking process using AI. Yeah. And I was like, hey, all we had to do was come up with the log line, the synopsis, and then we're gonna come up with the movie poster in like an hour and a half. In an hour and a half, we use ChatGPT, we use Midjourney, Canva. And it was something else that we used. But at the end of the night, we had a mock photo. Like if you look at the artwork for our film right now, I got the actress on it, but I had that made in Midjourney. and then we dropped it into Canva and came up with that poster. So like that all started from a class. Like it was just an idea. Like it wasn't a movie that I came up with where I'm like, hey, I'm about to make this movie about this. It was like, hey, let's make a movie just to make a poster. And when we came up with the concept, I was like, man, I went home. Like, I think that'd be a pretty good movie. I got a call from a couple of my students. They were like, hey, if you don't want to make it, I'll make it. Like, and I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna write this thing. So we did that in October. I started writing it in November through December. I finished it actually on Thanksgiving because I was a birthday gift for myself, and my birthday was around Thanksgiving, y'all. You know what I'm saying? November 24th, so it should be close to when this thing come out.
Right.
But you know, I brought the class in. I was like, hey, I'm getting ready to make this movie. I just wrote the script. Let's read it together. In December, we read the whole script together, and the students was like, oh, yeah. I said, all right, we're going to start pre-production in January. And we started pre-production, and then we shot it in May. And then we edited, and then we had a premiere for it in September. So it was like a lot that was happening, but it all happened. So I had Michaela Leonani and June Shelton were like the two main actors for the film. They did a phenomenal job. You know, when you see the film and see the transformation of these characters, it's a beautiful piece, man. I think it's the best work that I've done in my career. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the cast and the crew to all feel the same way about this project. Going into it, I wanted this to be the best experience that they had and the best film. So when they put it on their IDB, what are they known for? They're going to write in Mirror Deception.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I wanted. And then when it all came out, man, it came out so beautiful. I got a lot of people saying how much they enjoyed it and how beautiful of a film it is. And it's good when other people say it, because I was saying, you know, you feel like the rapper, man, I got sweet bars, bro. I got, you know, people be like, come on, man. You know, like, you know, I knew it was dope, but people couldn't see it. So now you can see it. Now you can be like, yo, it is what I said it was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then when people come back, it was like, yo, it was fire. You
like,
know?
yeah, I knew.
Like, yeah. I told you I'm John Blaze, yo. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it is one guy, man, my man Zach, man, he's a filmmaker here, man. He said he felt that it was the most polished film that he's ever seen come out of Detroit.
That's fire.
You know, and I was like, really? I mean, there's a lot coming from him because he's a filmmaker. He's seen, he know, and he color. Right. And he got his own production company, so he know what a good film is. And I was like, yo, that was big, man. You know what I'm saying? So. But yeah, they can check it out on amirrorofdeception.com and leave a comment.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? That helps out with the algorithm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And they see traction on there.
Exactly. And so how can people tap in with you if they're interested in getting some filmmaking courses from you, if they want to go check out your other projects? What are your handles? What's your website? How can the people reach you and stay in touch with you?
So you can go to tbopmedia.com, tbopmedia.com. That got all my course information all on there. I'm working on a personal website because I feel like, I think people like, I don't want to say yes to every project. Yeah. There's certain projects that need to resonate with me. Like I say, I'm looking for some transformational type of stuff. If you got something that you trying to change the world with and you want it to be dope and you know what I'm saying? Like those are projects I want to gravitate towards. So I want to put on my website who I am, my convictions, what I feel comfortable doing or whatever. And then invite people to come and work with me based off of that. You know, so but yeah, Timashion TV stands for the Visionaire. Timashion TV on Instagram and Timashion the Visionaire Jones on Facebook. So yeah, dope. Well, like I said, I was super excited to have you on the show, man. I love the passion that you are pouring into your projects, the impactfulness that you are, and the intentionality you go into each project with, and then also how you're transferring your knowledge to the next generation and not necessarily, you know, holding on to it, but making sure other people can be able to leverage the same tools, experiences, information that you have, and then take it to the next level. So I think it's dope, man. I really enjoy the work that you're doing. Absolutely, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, and good questions, brother.
I try. I do what I can, you know. know,
You did your thing,
This
man.
is coming from an Emmy award-winning filmmaker, so I hope that y'all know he said I got good questions. So that means I'm in good company. I appreciate you again, though.
Appreciate you, my man.
And everybody watching, listening, we'll tap in with y'all soon. And make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button and subscribe on all major streaming platforms. Peace.